Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You like that? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grab some tape.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome into the Film Guy Network on a fabulous whatever day it is. However, wherever you found this, I'm glad you're here. Make sure you're hitting that thumbs up button, like and subscribing, all that good stuff, showing support to the channel, however, wherever you can. This year, we're going to do a little bit something differently. Normally, we're like exclusive Georgia film content, and we're going to do a lot of that. Don't get me wrong. We're midway through the week here. We've already done 2.5 hours of just Georgia film content on this channel. However, things that intrigue my football brain and my football curiosity, I'm going to bring them to you. And certainly going into this football season, one of those early season things that I was certainly taking a peek at was this Alabama offense, man. Kalen DeBoer coming over from Washington. I saw what it looked like with Michael Penix and all that group that they had out there in Washington, saw the offensive philosophy and the offensive traits that they had and the core identity that they had out of Washington. It's going to look totally different or somewhat different with Alabama, right? A little bit of mix between players that he brought over from Washington, like the center, right? And a lot of Alabama personnel, a lot of players that Nick Saban has recruited. So what is this going to look like, particularly the quarterback, Jalen Milroe? I think I've talked about ad nauseum this offseason. Look, man, Kalen DeBoer's quarterback choices, the guys that he's gone out and selected, they don't really have the play style like Jalen Milroe, right? Michael Penix isn't really a dual threat quarterback, right? He's more of an accurate downfield striker, right? One that has really good ability to process the reads, right? Sees the game really well. Had a lot of college football experience of dissecting defenses, throwing it 40 plus times in a football game, right? When he had the opportunity to go out in the transfer portal, he signed a football player like Will Rogers even before he took the Alabama job, right? Of all the quarterbacks in the portal, chose Will Rogers, sought after Will Rogers. You look at his high school recruiting rankings, Austin Mack, big 6'6", 230 pound, real pocket passing quarterback, real talented thrower of the football, okay? Not a lot of them look like Jalen Milroe. So I was very curious, hey man, how's this guy going to develop a quarterback run game for this quarterback who definitely needs a quarterback run game, because that's honestly his legs might be his best and most explosive trait on top of his arm. So super intrigued by this Alabama offense. Hope you guys learn a little bit with me as well. If you're an Alabama fan and you have found us, man, we don't just do film content, okay? We do a lot of great show content on the channel as well with the man Jay Will and our other producer Christian Kirby. So check us out live Monday from 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, Monday through Thursday here on the network, all right? We got a saying around here, all right? Let's shut up and let's grind the tape. Gonna open up, obviously, to start the football game. I need that keyboard. We're going to open up this football game against Western Kentucky, okay, and just kind of get a general sense of who they are. But what I'm going to tell you right now, and what Kalen DeBoer has spoken about ad nauseum, they're going to need this offensive line to get more athletic. They're going to need these guys to continue to lose weight. Recruiting moving forward, all right, I promise you, they're going to be recruiting athletic individuals. It is no longer about being big, bad, brute, and tough at Alabama, all right? It is about being athletic. It's about playing on angles. It's about being really, really good in space, all right, and blocking little guys with big guys. I thought this was the biggest bring over from Washington. He is very, very undersized for a center, but my God, does he do the things that Kalen DeBoer needs this offensive line to do. And honestly, of all these guys, he's the one who looks most comfortable, as he should, right? Doing some of these things that they're going to be doing. But first snap of the football game, you're going to see what I'm talking about, guys. They're going to have offensive linemen on the move. This is going to be a pin and pull football team. They're going to get guys running. They're going to get big boys out in space running. And as you can see, look, man, like 52 Tyler Booker, if I'm hiring Tyler Booker in the NFL, I'm hiring Tyler Booker to do the same thing I hired J.C. Latham to do. Push dudes off the ball, right? I got a 3-tech in front of you, move him against his will north up the field. What I'm not really going to do is ask him all the time to run east and west, because as you can see in this clip, I know it's a little cloudy of a picture right now. This alley he has to get into is really, really thin. But this isn't necessarily something that he's naturally gifted at. He's naturally gifted at uncoiling his hips, moving his feet, getting guys off of the line of scrimmage. Not necessarily naturally gifted. And by the way, 77, the same thing, man. When we watched tape on 77 last year, he burst onto the scene because he was getting movement off the line of scrimmage. He was pushing guys 2, 3, 4 yards back off the field. That clip of him absolutely rolling Nazir Stackhouse in the SEC championship game. Guys, that's brute strength. That's uncoiling the hips. That's rolling. That's not athleticism, right? That's raw power. We're looking for raw athleticism nowadays to start these football games, right? A good, right guard at this point, the next couple of years, these Alabama offensive linemen, okay, as they're doing this, he's going to see that alley. He's going to get his eyes back up as this linebacker feels, right? He's going to run to that linebacker. Everything's going to get picked up as they get more and more comfortable with these types of schemes, as they see more and more defenses, more importantly, than just getting comfortable with the schemes. They've taken these reps 1,000 times, but what we can't do is run into the butt of our own guy, right? We can't run into the butt of our own tight end. Let's get our eyes up and inside. Find the voids. That's what we're doing. When we're pinning and pulling, right? We're that pulling guard or that pulling backside guard or whoever our free offensive lineman is, right? All we're trying to do is find where the voids are, right? We're basically becoming a running back. We're a lead blocker for our running back. So as we get here, hey, there's your alley, 52. As we get here, 77, there's your alley, all right? Allow the running back to make his cut based off your decisions. Let's go to 44 seconds right here. You are the check down, okay? I talked about this on our show last night. I think as a coordinator, DeBoer is really, really good, right? I think he's a really, really, really good coordinator. So almost every time, by the way, they're an empty, all right? And look at the average depth of target. Now it's 2nd and 6, okay? 2nd and 6. We have one tight end that would be a technical, like, hey, if the deep routes aren't there, he's at the sticks. This is our check down, the running back in empty. He's all by himself right now, okay? But everything else is going for head tops right now, right? We're going for touchdowns. We're going for explosive plays down the field. We're going to drive the ball down the field. Now, here's what I would be telling this guy, okay? This quarterback right here. I really get nervous when his feet come to a standstill. When he stands still in the pocket, I get nervous because I don't see a guy continuing to process through his reads. I see a guy standing still and the rest of the field is moving. That bothers me. All right, so what I would tell him is, hey, I'm good, you're good. And what we're going to do by that and what we're going to tell you by that is I'm a really good coordinator. If you get to the top of your drop and the primary read or the secondary read is not open, you are the third read, you are the check down, pull that football down and take your ass off because your legs are the most important thing we have. What we can't do is sit stationary in the pocket and ultimately get hit, all right? Just watch it from the tight. You'll see what I'm talking about. I don't want these feet stopping. And he has a tendency to do this, and he did last year, and it's something that he's going to have. That right there scares me. When we're just at one spot, not really moving left or right with our scan, right? We're not seeing the eyes and the body rotate or scan left and right in the pocket. We're seeing him stick on one, and the whole body sticking on one, right? We got to go. We got to go right now. We got to pull the ball down and escape if this is what we're going to do. When we're sitting stationary in the pocket, we are leaving we're sitting the launch point in one consistent spot, right? When we're standing right here, these defensive ends and these nose tackles and these D tackles, they've got one stationary location to land on, right? Because they know you're not moving until you go. You got to pull the ball down and go now. There can't be a stationary moment in the pocket for this guy. It's got to be, hey, one's not open, let's go to two. Two's not open, I am three. Let's pull the ball down and go. That would be what I would be teaching. The notes just say woof right here, and I don't know why. Oh, it's a miss. That's why. Misses on the slant right here on 3rd and 12. Leads to the first punt. Also, don't love. Well, I guess I would love it if he throws it. This is interesting right here. Look, they're going to stack this release, all right? And I believe number 5 is going to run the square in, and number 2 is going to run the dig. And they're going to look like they're standing upon each other, right after the snap. This is why I said last year, I think this, when I watched them at Washington, I felt like it was a combination of watching an NFL pro, like, shotgun offense, how they run NFL concepts out of the gun in the pros, while also watching the stacked releases from Tennessee. Tennessee spreads out and they put guys on top of each other outside the numbers, and it really, really makes for a difficult time of not only putting enough bodies over those wide receivers that are way out there, but also once they stack, we've got to figure out how to pick them up once they crisscross, right? It makes it really, really tough post-snap. This is a way of doing it without looking like you're Tennessee, if that makes sense, without looking like you're way, way, way spread out, but it's still making it difficult on the releases of these corners. I think there's still some space on both these guys. I think both these could be winners if these were thrown properly. But he's not getting pressure immediately. 52 looks like he got beat a little bit, but that's all right. Let's watch the tight right quick. I can't tell you off the top of my head why this was missed. I'm not going to sit here and break down the mechanics of Jalen Milroe. That's not the point of today's film study. I don't think this is his bag though. The short yardage intermediate stuff where it's all about quick release and accuracy and timing, and I don't think that's him. I think his bag is deep ball. All right, I think everyone has kind of settled on that thought process of him as well. 237 is where we're headed next. Again, another sign of, hey, you got to get athletic. Okay, you got to get athletic because this is what you're doing. Quarterback run, first one designed of the game. This is fresh after the first interception from TJ Finley. All right, but now these guys did this. I don't want Alabama fans to freak out on me. This is not new. Y'all been running pin and pull for years now. All right, y'all were even an outside zone stretch football team, in my opinion, when Jahmyr Gibbs was there, because that was his best ability to stretch, put the foot in the ground and go. That was a very outside zone based offensive line. However, you cannot tell me these guys were recruited to be misdirection offensive linemen, because they weren't. That's not Saban's identity. These are big maulers, all right? Big maulers that, yes, they are extremely athletic because they're all 4 and 5 stars, right? But they're maulers. That's what they are, all right? So getting them out in space looks comfortable to some extent, but some reps, it looks very uncomfortable, right? That looks way more comfortable than the first pin and pull rep we saw, doesn't it, Jonathan? 52 finds his guy. 77, this is what I'm talking about with regards to running the alleys. Hey, get your eyes on grass. You've become a running back now for the first time in your life, essentially. Your job is to find the hole, find the void, go stick your nose in it, and pick up any white jerseys that arrive. By the way, that play, that was a 3rd and short play call last year a lot for Washington. They'd get into empty and be willing to run Michael Penix. That's not new to the playbook for Kalen DeBoer, in my opinion. Here's what I was going to put you on the note here. I think 77, especially when you watch this from the tight or from the wide, 77, this right guard, this is 2 years in a row. I've seen this guy have a propensity to play over his toes. All right, now he's really, really good in these situations. When he doesn't fall on his face, he drives and creates a tremendous amount of blowback off the line of scrimmage. That being said, he does have a tendency to do this. And if you're paying attention here, you'll see it on pretty much every tape he has. This body lean right now, I know we're in 2. Maybe we can even squeeze it just a little bit more, but I think you guys can see that. We're playing what I would call nose over toes, meaning his nose is way out over his toes. All right. And as an offensive lineman, unless we bring our hips to balance, we are going to fall down. We're going to fall down and we're going to roll around and we're going to miss our block. Okay. I think 77 has a propensity to do this. At least just in my opinion, as a scouting profile, the more and more I watch him, the more and more I see this. All right. Rolling around, falling down. It does look to me, though, he's lost a considerable amount of weight from last year. If I were to flip on the SEC championship game between Georgia and Alabama, I think 77's a good 15, 20 pounds heavier, particularly in the gut and in the lower half. Should I release the tape that I gave last night that I know Bama fans will get upset about? Another design quarterback run for the quarterback right here. This is quarterback counter or quarterback draw with the backside tackle pulling. I love this right here, by the way. We're going to give this swing motion or this swing look, who, by the way, this has got numbers too. All right. If we really wanted to throw this running back's one-on-one with this safety. But I really love the design of the quarterback run right here, because here's the 5 bodies in the box. They're already committed. So as we pull this tackle, all right, he should be running to grass and running to number 12 right there, all right, as the lone free defender left. Look at that picture. Okay, it looks like it's going to be really, really pretty. The front side safety gets involved a little bit too early. All right, a little bit too early. So I guarantee you, here's what's really scary. Here's what would scare the piss out of me if I were playing Alabama, and will continue to scare the piss out of me as I prepare for Alabama. Okay, this guy pressing this hole brings this safety in, right? We all see this post snap. All right, but if this guy latches and locks onto this defender, once this safety pulls in, there's nothing stopping Jalen Milroe from going. Just like that. Just like that. As a matter of fact, Kobe Prentice scores on a touchdown here and 3 plays later. Just like that, just flicking that ball out, because his legs scared me so much that everyone's eyes and attention go, oh, explosive run. And then all of a sudden he's just doing that one. Right? He's just doing that one. And you know who used to do this? And Auburn used to run systems just like this when they had Nick Marshall. This dude's Nick Marshall that can actually play. Like he's a really good football player. Nick Marshall was an NFL corner. This guy's going to play in the NFL as a quarterback if someone takes a chance on him and designs an offense for him. Because I do think he, in my opinion, is the scariest football player to prepare for right now in college football, because you just don't know which version of him you're going to get, man. Especially if you're showing me you're willing to run him double-digit times in a football game, a real highly competitive football game, that scares me. And here's the play I'm talking about. Watch what happens. As soon as he pulls this ball down right here, look at these eyes. Eyes on you, eyes on you, eyes on you, eyes on you. Hell, these two guys are looking at him. Now, I know they're playing a lot of zone coverage, but there's a difference, right? There's a difference between eyes on you. Put me in one. There's a difference between eyes on you and I'm on my heels and I'm playing back, and eyes on you and I'm doing this when I stop the film. If eyes on you and I'm doing this and I'm stopping the film, you know what they're doing? They're coming towards the quarterback. All right. And as they're coming towards the quarterback, they're losing their responsibilities. All of them. Touchdown. Great play by Kobe Prentice, making these guys miss out in space. But this is why, again, I say this guy terrifies me. This guy terrifies me as an evaluator and as someone who's trying to put defense together for these guys. Oh, the take about Alabama that I know Alabama fans aren't going to like. Bro, Elijah Pritchard's better for what you guys are doing at tackle than Caden Proctor. Caden Proctor is not athletic enough, in my opinion, to consistently do this stuff and play great. Play like he's supposed to. Caden Proctor needs to be in a pro-style 3-step drop. The quarterback's going to be right here. Just be a behemoth. All right. But if we're going to ask that guy to go block corners and pull on counter and do all these things that require like elite levels of athleticism, then he better be playing at 335 this fall. He better not be playing at 375 like he was last year. Okay. I think I don't know for a fact. Now, he won the job, but I think that might be due to the fact that there's a heavy investment into that. But I don't think it was a clean walk away. Caden Proctor won the left tackle position. I think Elijah Pritchard was still battling with that relatively deep into camp. I could be completely wrong on that. Please correct me if I am. This is straight up out of NCAA right here, boys. Straight up out of college football 25. We got the Dover. We got the post. We got the go. We got the rat. Straight up out of NCAA. And all we are doing, all right, is we're reading these two defenders. All right, because if this guy does have deep quarters, well, he's got a real decision to make as this number 2 receiver pushes into his void. Am I going in or out? All we're trying to do essentially is run 3 guys into these 3 guys and see which one of them loses. All right, which one of them loses. And it's this corner down here on the bottom. He doesn't have enough help, right? He does not have enough help. As this wide receiver goes in, for some reason, this corner's eyes are inside. He should be locking on with Ryan Williams. Ryan Williams runs right down the sideline for a touchdown. Okay? You pointing like you got help. You don't. You don't have help. Always loved this one, right? Corner getting absolute cooked. Doesn't fall back deep enough. I don't know. I can't tell. It might be Tampa. This guy might have the middle here. This is the backside corner who continues to bail because nothing's in his side. Either way, great Tampa beater, right? This guy does have the middle of the field. We're going to put something in his face. This guy does have deep half. We're going to put something in his face. We're going to force that corner to be a really, really smart football player and run with that guy that's got no help for. Doesn't get picked up. Easy pitch and catch there for Jalen Milroe. There you see the freshman with some elite speed. That's a great play. I think a lot of wide receivers can make this play. I don't think a lot of wide receivers make the next play that this freshman makes, to be honest with you. Okay, so we're going to hold for that one. Where are we at time-wise there, J-Will?
20 minutes.
20 minutes. Okay. Let's go to 7:30. Third design run of the game right here for the quarterback, and we're just 3 possessions in, I believe. It's the 3rd possession. Okay, so you're getting about a quarterback run per possession. I don't think this is a design quarterback run. Now that I look at it, this appears to be a bobbled snap by the quarterback. But he does have an RPO out of the, or a read out of the back, right? If he does want to keep this ball, I don't know why he doesn't keep it front side, right? Hug Elijah Pritchett's left cheek and take that to the door, big dog. I guess here's why he's following the back. You know why he's following the back? Come on, take a guess.
Because it's a busted play.
Because it's a busted play. Exactly, it's a busted play. So now he's got an additional blocker. So he's just doing what football brains do, which is say, hey, oh shit, the play busted. Let's just follow our bodies. Good job. That's the first time, a long time I've gone to you. You have one of those for me. Good job. One thing I do love about this offense, right? No matter what, you're going to have to defend the whole 53 and a half. Okay, they are going to press you vertically. They are. But the number one thing I notice about DeBoer is he really, really wants you to have to defend the full 53 and a half. Right? He wants to make you run east and west. Okay, because the more and more I make you run east and west, the more susceptible you are for me punching you in the mouth north and south. Okay, so he does a great job, just like everybody else does, it seems nowadays in college football, of really stretching the field, right? Really taking advantage of the fact that our hashes are wider than the NFL. Really taking advantage of the fact that there's 53 and a half yards worth of field horizontally for these guys to have to defend. We're going to stretch, punch. Stretch, punch. That's even their run game. Their run game out of pistols, really stretch heavy, really counter heavy, really pin and pull heavy. We are going to stretch, punch. Okay? Last clip I want to show you today. Actually, a couple. We got counter to the crib. This is the smoothest 85-yard touchdown I've seen to date. Man, it's like he jogging. He did this shit in high school too. Every time I saw Justice Haynes for a 70, 80-yard run, I'm like, bro, you are jogging. What is going on? Buddy is a smooth-ass strider. Look at all these other guys really efforting. Now, they're catching. Don't get me wrong. They're gaining some speed. But it looks like he just walk it off, right? Look how smooth it is from the tight, too. Look at this. That man is jogging. Also, by the way, he's put on about 15, 20 pounds since high school, it looks to me. Especially in the quads. Always had thick uppers. But this is a big kid, man. NFL pedigree. Great shit right there. All right, so we saw a little bit of Tampa earlier, right? Saw a little bit of Tampa earlier from these guys. But I want to show you one ball right here. This is what we call a chooch. People want to ask what a chooch is. This is it right here. Chooch on display. Okay, chooch on display right here. This ball is absolutely hummed. I'm going to put it from the tight. This is a touchdown to Ryan Williams. This ball is put on an absolute screw. All right? This might be the hardest thrown ball in college football this past weekend. Look at this. Doink. Some bitch threw that like a 3-step slant. Doink. And I think it wobbled on him too. That's the crazy part. This is not a tight ball. That ball is wobbling on him, and it is a beam. All right, here's what I was talking about with the freshman. This ain't freshman. All right, to make this a touchdown, that right there, for that to be 6, nah, dude, you're different. You are different. Speaking of different, this is a tremendous play call. I want to get to this, okay? Been running a lot of Tampa is this Western Kentucky football team, right? This safety is actually going to open up. The safety's got this deep half. This safety's got this deep half. This safety's playing in the middle. He's going to sit on the flats. He's going to sit on the flats. Watch this Tampa 2 beater that they got called up and dialed up right here. Okay, boom. There it is to the top, that corner route. Okay, so if we're susceptible anywhere, we are definitely not susceptible here, right? As an offense, we are not attacking anywhere into this vicinity of the football field. All right, this corner's got the flat. All these guys are on the same level. This corner's got the flat too. So we can assume as an offense, we got bubbles, 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 bubbles. Where's the void? Where's the void? There's the void. The void's right here. That's all the grass. It's right there. So what are we going to do on 3rd and 4? We're going to give our quarterback a nice pitch and catch. We're going to run a nice little corner route to number 5, and look at all that. Look at all that void. Look at all that grass he's throwing into. Right? It's almost like he knew what coverage they were playing. It's almost like the coach is really smart. It's almost like the coach knows how to call football plays. Right? I'm watching that. I'm watching that over the next couple weeks, because that right there, that looks scary. We'll see y'all next time.